everyone, welcome back. It's Elsie, editor for World Aviation Festival, and today I'm delighted to be joined by Surain Adyanthaya, President of Travel from Pros. Lovely to have you with us, Surain.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Yeah, so talking a bit about consumer behaviour, have we seen some shifts on that in recent years, and how is that impacting pricing and spending in aviation?
Yeah, definitely. There's been a huge shift, especially with the emergence of the Gen Z traveler and the buyer. They have different expectations from their purchase experience. A lot of it's shaped by online retailers like Amazon and others. They expect very quick response, where within 3 seconds or less, they get a relevant response or they move on. They also expect the seller to know something about them so that the feedback they get, the products that are offered, are things that they're truly interested in. So it's a very different mindset that the airlines need to adapt to.
And in terms of sort of dynamic pricing, what kind of progress have we seen on this in terms of, you talked about like tailoring stuff to the customer, and that comes down to pricing as well. So yeah, what have we seen any change on this, and how has that sort of impacted customers as well?
Yeah, well, dynamic pricing has been a buzzword in the airline industry for almost a decade. But the exciting part for anyone who's been involved is it's finally come of age. The Lufthansa Group has been very public about how they've rolled out dynamic pricing during the COVID years, and they've seen tremendous positive results. And most importantly, we believe it's good for the consumer as well. I mean, historically, as an airline, if you had a $300 fare and a $400 fare, and you wanted to offer $350, you couldn't. You had to offer $400. But now with dynamic pricing, you have a more continuous pricing scale, and you can offer exactly the price that a traveler may want. So the traveler can get a better deal and a more relevant offer. So it's a very exciting time for the airline industry with the rollout of dynamic pricing. It's good for the consumer and good for the airline.
But in terms of creating this sort of personalized sales ecosystem, what kind of foundations need to be in place for that to happen? And are there any sort of challenges that airlines might underestimate that they need to overcome before they can actually realize the success?
No, great question. I think the challenges airlines face are really antiquated infrastructure and architecture. The PSS, passenger service solutions, which are the heart of airline IT, this was technology that was developed in the 1960s and 70s, and it's still being used. And this limits the ability for airlines to behave like a modern retailer. So rebuilding this infrastructure is incredibly important for the airline world. And good news is there's a big initiative right now called Offers and Orders, or modern airline retailing, where there's an initiative to replace these legacy systems with much more modern e-commerce-like solutions. So we're very excited about that because that opens up an entire array of possibilities for airlines, especially in creating better offers with dynamic prices, with bundling things, not just the flight, but ancillaries, to create an offer that a consumer truly wants.
You mentioned earlier Lufthansa Group, but I was wondering if there are any other use cases that you'd like to talk about airlines that you think have implemented successful strategies in this regard, and yeah, what kind of impact that's had on their business.
Well, I mean, there are many airlines that are going down this road. I mean, we have over 170 airline customers, and each one has a different perspective on how their business is and how they want to run it. But the beauty of it all is this is a very flexible platform, this offer order world that the airlines are emerging and going into, that allows them to achieve their commercial objectives and also allows them to provide the customer what they really want.
Well, thanks so much for sharing your insights, Surain. Love to have you here today.
Pleasure. Thanks for having me.
No problem.